Hello friends, welcome to Miss Kramer's Art Class. We are in part 2 of our friendly baby owl painting. We're gonna do acrylics like Liliana did here. You're gonna have different sizes of brushes available. So bigger area, paint with the bigger brush, and then the detail area, use the small tiny brushes. We talked about being respectful to brushes, meaning we're not scraping with them or hammering. Like if it was a jackhammer and we are washing, our brush is really good in water when we're gonna change colors. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into purple and then dip into white and bring some colors into it that are gonna make it dirty looking. So always wash your brush right after changing any color. Okay, let's get started. So I am going to add some gold around my eyes. I'm gonna do that over here. And I'm going to put this out of frame so you don't need to see that. I'll just put this example here. And I'm going to paint around the eyes. And what's nice about the gold is also it blends. And always wash your colors when you go redip the color. It blends the marker a little bit too. So it's nice because there's new colors are happening on the palette. Okay, so I'm gonna wash it because now it's, see how dirty it got? So wash it. I'm gonna add some of this yellow right there around the eye. So perfect. I'm gonna put some yellow and orange. First I have to wash my brush, and then I'm going to put some orange on my beak, just a little. I'm also going over my marker lines, but you can go over your pencil lines. All right. My white already had some blue in it, and I'm just gonna go take some white with the blue since it's already there, and I'm gonna start painting with that mixture. And I think even though I washed my brush, there was slightly a little bit of that orange left still, which gives me really nice shades, so I'm not worrying about it because I kind of like what happened. It kind of blends it really nicely. So, and this is a cardstock paper, so it really works. So I'm gonna go cover any details that I didn't like by dipping into my white. And going over those lines I don't like, and it's gonna fix it up and it's gonna make it really pretty. See how I covered that line right there? Go over here. Actually covers pretty good. Just blends it really nicely. I'm not gonna forget to wash my brush though. I'm going carefully around the eyes. So I'm going, actually I do like, it's like a gray color that I still have on a brush. So instead of washing it right now and redipping, I'm gonna use all these shades first because I kind of like what happened with my dirty brush without blending too much until I don't really have anything on my brush. Now I'm gonna go wash it. So wash your brush, and looks good. Now I'm gonna introduce maybe a new color, so maybe I'll introduce a little bit of purple on these sides, but I don't want too much because I want to blend that in. I just want to have it here and there. So I'm just going around the edges of the owl as if some light, purple light in the dusk or dawn is reflecting on the owl. It's not really purple owl, it's just, these are my shadow areas. So I put some purple right there, and I'm going over my lines that I made with the feathers, but I'm not putting too much So I don't want to make a purple owl. These are just shadows that I'm going to blend over. Okay. I'm washing my brush really well. I think I'm going to go back to that yellow-orange combination now. I'm going to add some of that to my owl on the wings. So I think I'm gonna reserve a different color for the belly, but I'll take some of this orange and put it on the talons. And since it's still dirty, I'm gonna go back to my face and add just a little bit of that color so it kind of blends into it without having to wash my brush. I used up all those blends of color. Now it's ready because I ran out, and I'm gonna wash my brush again before I go and dip it into a new color. So let's see what I need. I think I'll just go take some white and go ahead and do some belly. I think the belly is gonna look nicer if it's white. And I'm just gonna go over my lines so it looks more natural and painterly. So the rough outlines are now blending in. I'm going over on the paper is okay to blend. So on the paper I'm blending white over orange. That's fine. We're blending on the paper. And now I went with my dirty brush and I went and brought it back into the painting, and that's fine as long as I will wash it when I go into the palette so that I don't make the actual colors dirty. But here on the paper, please do blend. It's gonna be great for you to learn how to blend. Look, I'm bringing all that color that I mixed up from all those colors that got dirty, and I'm bringing it all around back into the face. So I achieve harmony and unity using same colors for the belly and the face, so it looks like one body of the owl blended nicely, so it looks more natural. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do a nice background, and Liliana did a nice background, blended it in. So you can do brown like Liliana or black or blue for the night. I think I'm gonna go with this pretty blue, and I'm gonna come kind of closer to the edges because I wanna shave off some of these extra feathers. I wanna control it, make it smaller and fix my mistakes. Okay, as artists, when we paint, we always are learning new things, and we're always adjusting the painting to what it needs, what we think that it would look better. So I think I'm just gonna cover. And I'm turning my paper because I can get better to all these areas closer to me instead of trying to reach it. I have a messy mat here that is better to use when I'm gonna work on the edges. Don't let anything get on the table. And so when you're painting on a table, have a paper towel underneath you so you can paint over a paper towel on the edges. And I just dipped into this color, but the blue was together with the turquoise, so it was already mixed in. So I didn't wash my brush because I only had blue on my brush. It was the same color, so I'm just doing the same color, going carefully around the edges, and ta-da! I'm getting soon finished with this awesome owl. Wow, it's looking good. Just make sure you have that paper towel because these edges will happen when you're painting close to the edge. I didn't even have to switch to a detail brush. I stayed painting with this size brush the whole time. I could have gone to these areas with a smaller brush if I wanted to be careful. But for the length of the video, I'm trying to do a nice job, but quick job too. So now I'm gonna teach you. You can use the end of the brush like this. We're gonna make quick little stars. So just do little dots, different sizes. You wanna make smaller, larger dots. For the stars. So what do you think? What kind of story would this owl talk about? Looks like it's a night. You can already hear the owl sounds around the area. What do you think the owl is thinking about? What could be her story? Maybe this owl is having a hard time finding food. Maybe there was no food that night in the forest. Maybe all the vermins or mice and everything were hiding around somewhere far away, and she couldn't get to them. Maybe she's hungry. Maybe she's thinking about her hunt, going out on a hunt. Maybe she's thinking about her fledglings, little babies being hungry, and she needs to provide some food for them. Or maybe she's just listening to the sounds of the forest. You can also use paper towel, extra paper towel, to wipe your brush like this. I'm doing this now. I'm gonna actually switch finally to the detail brush now because I added a little bit too much of white there. So I am gonna put some dark blue because I don't have black in my paint palette, and I'm just gonna add some blue around it to fix it. And now I have to do the same on the other side so it looks the same. So I fixed my mistake, and artists always adjust their mistakes as when we're working. We'll just see what works, right? And I see this would be more symmetrical if this would match. Do you see? This one is high enough and this one kind of disappeared there. So maybe with the detail brush, I'll wash it really well and wipe it with a paper towel. And now I'll go into the white, and I'm gonna add what I lost here, some of these feathers, so it looks more symmetrical. So the last part of your painting, when you're done with it, it's good to use the detail brush to add those textures with the skinny brush like I'm doing here. I'm just putting those highlights wherever the light is touching the owl. So maybe this owl is gonna have a long flight to somewhere where it's warm. Maybe it's starting to be too cold and all the mice are hiding in their underground homes because they don't come out when it's so cold, and maybe the owl needs to travel somewhere far to another part of the forest or southern forest in order to find some food for her babies. Wouldn't that be a nice story? Or maybe it's a silly story, like maybe the owl went on a vacation in Florida. So it doesn't have to be factual. It doesn't have to be true to reality. You can have an owl librarian, and you can have an owl like in Winnie the Pooh distributing books to everybody. And maybe they have a free special fair festival where Owl is teaching all her forest friends how to read. Maybe Owl isn't a teacher. So there's so many ideas you can think about how to make your story about your owl, but my class is already lined up, so I will end the video now, but go ahead and finish up your gorgeous little paintings like Liliana did. And Liliana can be adding a little more details if she wanted to in our class to her little baby owl, and make another one, make a nice one again. And I can't wait to see your amazing painting, how they're gonna turn out. And I'm so glad that we get to paint together again. And don't forget to check out our videos during summer as well, when you want to paint with me or draw with me, because I can't wait to paint or draw with you. And thank you for visiting our class YouTube channel, which has so many different activities for you to do when you're at home too, not just in the school. So thank you for liking and commenting, subscribe, and now is your turn.